Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday morning, start of a new week, and really excited to bring you a video today. I just first want to start with an apology for the quality of some of my videos. I knew I had a focusing issue. I didn't realize quite how bad that issue was until yesterday when I was cooking breakfast and my husband put a video on of mine to watch while I was busy, and I ducked in and out, and the focus was atrocious. Still watchable, admittedly, and the areas where it went out of focus tended not to be too important, but still not great. We are looking at ways to fix this, so a bit of exploration. My husband is looking at getting me a new phone specifically for videoing that hopefully will be better, but we can't quite afford that at the moment, so that's the long-term plan, and I have no idea whether that will make a difference. But I'm trying something out this morning that hopefully will help. So if you can give me some feedback on how you found the focus, whether it continuously went in and out again or whether it was more stable. It does mean I cannot hold things up to the camera to show you closer because that's going to throw off what I've tried to do to stop it going out of focus. So with all that being said, I do humbly apologise, and let's just crack into the next video and see how we go. So first up, I wanted to show you what I made with the collage masterboard that I did in the last video. So some of these you already saw me make, but I've just decorated them since. So this is, I'll put them one at a time. This is pocket, one at a time. The pocket that I made going to go in my bee journal. So I just tore out a bee out of a printable, put a little label on, some lace and ribbon, and I used some liquid drops to colour in the wings. So it's a white, pearly white, and some corners on the label there, and that's a stamped label. This wee corner pocket, I added some painty wet wipe, dried wet wipe, that was in the sort of colours that I wanted for this journal. A little fussy cut image out of a magazine of a little girl wearing a beekeeper outfit with some bees, and a few flowers, and again some liquid drops in the centre of the flowers, and the flowers are punched. This is the belly band I made, and I stamped some bees on it and fussy cut another image out of a magazine of honey dripping off a, I don't know what you call them, those wooden things that are ribbed specifically for honey. If you know what they're called, tell me, because I haven't a clue. This is the other corner pocket, which I haven't decorated. I'm just going to leave that one for now. And then I made another belly band, and I've just given the corners a decorative punch, and then I made a side pocket. So none of those are decorated. I'll wait until I need those. And then these are the pieces that I had left from my collage sheet. So not a lot left over. Normally I'd cut it so that I don't have any leftovers, but it suited me to cut it the way I had. So I've got these pieces, and these will go into my scrap basket, and they'll be used in making clusters and things. So nothing at all is wasted. So just wanted to catch you up with those first off. Right, so today, the subject of today's is corner pockets. I've had a viewer request on corner pockets, and so I thought, let's see how many ways we can deal with corner pockets, make them, look at them. So I'm going to start off with a 6x6 sheet of paper, scrapbook paper. This is quite a lightweight one, slightly thicker than A4 copy paper, I would say. It doesn't say on the packet. This is, or maybe it does. No, it doesn't. This is from Thrive and Shine, Rosie's Studio. I don't know whether it's still available or not, but that's what it is. So to start with, I'm just going to fold it in half. While you're making corner pockets, it does help to have a page available for measuring against, just to make sure you don't make it too wide. And if you have different size pages, then have perhaps, you know, a couple of different sizes available so that you can make sure they're going to fit your page. Because if you take a 6x6 and fold it in half like I've done here, it's too large for a A5 size page, which is A4 folded in half. I don't know if you can see that very well, but if I put it right against the corner, then the bottom sticks out a bit. Now you could just trim it off and leave it like that, but we're going to do something else. You can also make this a flip, so it could just be a straight flip round the top corner of there, and it opens up for journaling space. That's just like a hidden spot on the page. And you can also turn that into a pocket, so when you glue it, just glue the side and the bottom and have that as a pocket to put a journaling card, tag, whatever in. So that's the first way. So as I said, you might want to trim it down a little bit so to make sure it fits your page. Okay, moving on to the next thing, I'm going to have that same fold. So I'm just going to work with this bit of paper, and I'm just lining it up on my grid, on my cutting mat, so that the folded edge is level and the point is on a cutting line, and I'm going to cut through the middle down to the point. And you could do this with a trimmer, paper trimmer. I'm just doing this with my craft knife. Just as quick and easy for me to do that. Whoops, I moved it slightly, but that's okay. Okay, so what you end up with here is two triangles that are folded on the edge and open out. Now, I was playing with this morning and found there were a lot of ways you could use these. A lot of ways. And it was quite exciting, I have to say. I get excited by small things. This was exciting for me. So, firstly, I'll show you this one that I did earlier. So, I've had the same two triangles as what I've got here. And I glued one here. And I did put glue here, you don't have to. And wrapped it around the page. So I've got an up tuck here and an up tuck on the other side of the page. So that's one triangle. So if I show you with this one that's loose, once you've got your glue in there, just slide it over your page so you've got one side on each side of the page and glue it down, and there's two up tucks. And then I took the other triangle and I did the same thing on the bottom of the opposite page. So we've got two tucks or pockets, whichever you want to call them, down on the opposite side. I just thought, how super cute does that look? I think they look really cool. Obviously there'll be other pages in between them, but it pleases me to have sort of a similarity between the front and the back of the signature, and that just makes me really happy. And you've got these tuck spots, and you've still got all that journaling space as well. So wrap around the page corner pockets and corner tucks, up tucks. So that's one way you can use these triangles. Another way of using these triangles isn't quite a corner pocket, but I thought was fun. Well, it's not a corner pocket at all. So again, for this you'd need to trim off the points, and some people don't like the points anyway. So trim off the points, glue the two bits together so they don't open anymore, so it's just one solid bit, and glue it along the bottom edge to the bottom of your page. And then what you end up with is a cool triangle tuck where you can put something, you know, reasonably large but not too heavy, tucked into the bottom of your page. And obviously all of these you can decorate them up. I'm just not worrying about decorating at this stage. I'm just showing you how to make the different ways and where and how you can use them. And if you use decorative paper, sometimes you don't want to add anything else if it's pretty as it is. While I remember, the other paper that I used on this one is from Craftwise Paper Pack 6x6 Paper Pack Rose Blush. Again, I don't know if that's still available or not. but at least I have told you what they come from. Okay, so that's another way to use it. Another way to use these is to, now there's two ways you can do it. Again, glue the inside of it and put it on the side of your page. Actually, it needs to go on the other side. When you're doing pockets, try not to put them on the spine side of the page, because that's going to push out your spine of your journal, and it's going to make the outside of the pages alligator mouth even more than they would otherwise. So the more bulk you have along the spine edge, the thicker your journal's going to be, and the more it's going to sit like that, which is not ideal. So on the outer edge of the page, you glue it again down that edge and have it as a tuck, side tuck, like so. Or when you open it out, glue only, now I've got to think about this, glue only down the long edge, the edge that's going to sit against the edge of your page. So glue only this part, and then, actually I might have to demonstrate this because it's a little confusing otherwise. Oops. I'll use the right glue, my tacky glue. So for this one, I'm just going to glue along the long edge on the inside, like so, and glue that down. Oops, glue spilling out. Just grab a dry wet wipe, catch that excess glue. Okay, so we've got one open edge like so. Okay. I should have done this before I glued it down, but never mind. So I'm going to take my punch and put a little thumb hole in the top, like so. And then glue it along. I've got to think about this. Right, yes, along the long edge. Sorry, just had to make sure I got it the right way round. You know, I make mistakes on camera all the time, but I'd really rather not confuse everybody. And also along the edge where you took out that thumb hole. So this is where I took out the thumb hole, so the bit below that I want to glue along that edge, and then I'm going to glue that onto the edge of my page, and I'm doing it in the middle just because I think that looks cool. You could do it more to the top or bottom if you preferred. Okay, like so, which I think looks really cool, and you can decorate it up. And then what we end up with is, looking for something, this will do. This is too big, but you'll get the idea. Oops, it's got damaged. I found this on the floor. I don't know when it ended up on the floor. So you've got a tuck here, a little pocket. Actually, the sweet card might be better. So you've got a little pocket up here, and you can put something in that sticks out that way, or you can do it this way, whichever, or you could do it this way. So lots of options there how you fill it. And then also, because we only glued along here and here, you've also got this up tuck there. So you can reverse that and have this one down the bottom and this one up the top. It doesn't matter, whichever way you prefer. So if you accidentally glue it up the opposite way, not a problem at all. It will still work. You'll still end up with a pocket here and a tuck here. So whichever way it ends up is all good. And I like things where it doesn't matter which way you do it, because it was still going to work. So I think that's super cute. And this paper is coffee dyed with bubbles. So I made a coffee solution with some dishwashing liquid, blew into it with a straw, and then put the paper down on the bubbles. And you have to keep doing it to do your whole page, and I did both sides. And it's just a really nice, cool effect. So now it's decorated with this cool double, well, it's not really double pocket, it's a pocket and a tuck. That's triangular. So we did the one down the bottom. You could also do the same thing by gluing this at the top and having it as a tuck up the top, or just the plain side tuck if you glue the two halves together, side tuck, and then this way. So that's how many ways? 1, 2, 3, 4 different ways, plus these 5 different, 6, I don't know, I've lost count. Heaps of ways you can deal with this cool folded triangle. So I hope you like that one. I've done the flip down the bottom. I don't know if I told you the name of it. It's called a Rita Donnelly flip. This won't work because the fold's on the wrong side. It has to be along the long edge for the Rita Donnelly flip, where you have it folding up with the corner rounded. That's called a Rita Donnelly flip after the person who came up with the idea. So that's a few ways. The next way I want to show you is a book page. Where's my book gone? So I'll just grab out a page. I'm busy using up this novel. It's called A Time of War. So sometimes there's things I want to cover over on it. Right, I'm just going to trim up, sorry about the noises, the clangs. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee, excuse me. Right, just going to trim up my book page so it's got a straight edge. I'm going to tear it because it doesn't need to be crisp, it just needs to be straight. Okay, this is another idea I was playing around with this morning. While I have breakfast, I'm watching YouTube, and then I'm playing as well at the same time. So yeah, I've had quite a productive morning actually. I've got the washing done, the dishes done, pulled meat out for tea, and I was ready to sit down and have a coffee. Okay, again we want to create a triangle. Now you only want it to be roughly as wide as will, well, definitely that will fit on your page. You don't want it bigger than that. So I'm just going to eyeball that will be about right. So I've taken an edge of the page and folded it. Gosh, I get tongue tied all the time. Folded it like that. Now we're going to flip it over and fold up just below, if I show you, just below the line of that. And try and keep it straightish if I can. Okay. So this again, like my other pockets that I showed in a few videos ago, there's a few different folds, but basically just fold and see if it works. If it doesn't, try a different way. It's just old book page. Okay, so refresh. So we've got our corner folded down, we've got the back folded up, and then I'm going to take the back and fold it into a triangle again, and I'm just eyeballing. Okay, and then trimming off that excess on the side of the first triangle, including the back layer as well, just so you can see. So I'm just going to tear that off and discard that. So what we have here is a double pocket. So glue down this front flap first, and these will need to be decorated, particularly if you don't like what's written on the book page, if it's boring or it just doesn't look that great, not a cool font or anything, then definitely do a bit of collaging or stick a bit of scrapbook paper or digital or something on it, whatever you prefer. Right, so I've glued down that front triangle, and what this does by folding it rather than just tearing it is it gives us a nice folded edge to form a pocket, which is stronger than if it was just a single layer. And if when you collage or cover it with whatever you want to cover it with, that'll help support it as well, so it's less likely to tear. If you want to sew this, then you will need to sew it after you've glued, but before you glue the two halves together. Does that make sense? So if you want to sew along this edge, you'll need to do it now. And with this edge too, I'll glue that back triangle down. I hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm being all jumbled. That's what happens when you wing it. It just kind of comes out higgledy-piggledy out of your mouth. Out of my mouth anyway. Okay, so to revise, I've glued both triangles down. Okay so far? They're folded in half in the middle. So we end up with two pockets. So if you'd like to sew, stop at this point, sew along this edge, sew along this edge, then you can glue or not. If you're going to sew, then you can just run a little bit of glue stick or something down there just to hold it while you sew, or you can wing it and sew without gluing it, and then sew along here just to complete the pocket. That's if you want to sew. If you don't want to sew, then don't. It won't matter at all. It's just an added detail if you prefer the sewn look, and I probably would sew, but not on camera. Okay, so I will actually just glue this one up so you can see. So if you're not sewing, just a bit of glue up that side. Whoops, went a bit high. Top of my glue's getting a bit mucky. Give that a wipe. And there we have a corner pocket. So I'll grab back my sheet of A5 paper, or A4 folded in half. So that's a journal page. So you can put it either way, especially if you are covering the text, because it's not going to matter which way it goes. So that can sit on your page in the corner like so, and you've got a pocket there and a pocket there. Or if you want it on the other side, you can just flip it round. Just decide which way you want it to go before you decorate it or cover it, so that you can use it the way that you want, because if you use a directional paper or elements, then you're stuck using it the way that you created it. So do this. If you don't have book pages, then certainly you can use any paper that you like. So that's another corner pocket. I'm trying to think whether I had any other ideas. I did the corner, yes I did. Right. So I've got some more, this is a light cardstock, it's 200 GSM, and it's a new pack I just bought a week ago, just over a week ago, from the warehouse here in New Zealand, but I did buy it on clearance, so I don't know how long it will be available for. I like looking for things on clearance. Right, so I'm just going to take this sheet, it's got this gold foiling on the side here, and I'm just going to create a fairly simple pocket from that, corner pocket, and I'm just eyeballing, and making sure I get the whole design in the pocket, or on the piece that I'm cutting, and I'm just going to cut it and make a, has that gone through? Not quite. my cutting mat's getting a bit old, and my blade also I think is getting a bit dull. Need to break it off and get the next section, which will be sharper. So there we go, just a simple, and this will need to go on the opposite side of the page because I don't want it towards the spine. So if I put it on this side, it's going to be on the spine side. So it needs to go on the outer edge. And there it's just a nice big tuck or side pocket. I covered over my card, I couldn't find it. Oops, this card's quite thick to try and get under there. Maybe I'll use one of these. There we go, that's better. So just really simple, but utilising the design that's on the paper. Okay, so that's simple. Next one, I want to do something a little bit more complicated, but not by much. So I really like this light bulb design here as well with the number on it. That's quite cool. I'm just going to do a rough guesstimate. Okay, so if I come up here, I'm going to be well clear of the spine, and I've got plenty of room up there. So I can actually get this whole design on my pocket, and it's just going to be an interesting shape. And I just wanted to show you this because you don't have to run with a traditional shape. You can make it any shape you like. You know, there's a lot of ideas out there, brilliant ideas, but sometimes I find we can get kind of locked into, well, that's how it's done and that's what we need to do. Right, and I'm going to just make big cuts on this paper. Normally I would shape it, draw it out so I'm not cutting into the whole thing. Oh, did you hear the doorbell? That's the courier. So I'm not rushing to the door this time. Yeah, so you can make them whatever shape you like. Don't get stuck into a rut. It's all too easy to get stuck into a rut. And I know us creatives, we like to mix things up a bit. We like to do different things and have a play and see what works and what doesn't. So, play. And if you're not sure, if you don't want to waste your supplies, then grab something that is waste material. Whether it be a bit of newspaper or junk mail or something like that you can play around with and get something to work, and then cut it out of your good supplies. Okay, so you could use this as is. Where's my paper? There it is. If you wanted it like that, you could certainly do it like that, and then just have it as a big tuck or pocket, like so. And you could leave that side open or glue it down. But, you know, that's cool, but it's not as cool as it could be. Hey, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create some interest. So, and this is all just eyeballing. I'm just looking at it and assessing where I want to cut it and cutting it. Okay, so I've just cut corner off. And what the beauty with this is you can stop at each stage and go, do I like it? Do I want to do something else? So putting it on my page again. And we've got a slightly more interesting corner pocket. So again, you can glue it on the two sides and have it as a pocket, or you can leave the side open here and have it as a tuck if you want to put something wider in there. If I turn that over, you might see better. Okay. So already it's slightly more interesting, but I want to do something else. And this is a little bit more tricky because I don't want to cut through this little postmark design here. So I'm going to line it up with my grid so I get it straight. And I'm going to go about there. And want to go about this line, this thicker line here. I'll show you what I've chosen, why I've chosen that particular point. So I'm going by the edge of the light bulb. That this thicker line here means I won't be cutting into the light bulb. So there's still a gap there. So I don't want to go into the light bulb. I want to make sure I stay clear of that. And then this is the tricky part, is finding where you cut to. And that's about there. It doesn't matter whether you're slightly off. So you can cut the other line a little bit more. There we go. Discard that bit. That'll be a script for something else. And now I've created something with the shape that's on the paper. So if we grab this bigger piece again. Yep. So we've again still got a big pocket. But what you could do, it just occurred to me, is you could glue along this line and make a pocket. This is a bit wide, but make a pocket here that comes down here, and then you can have a little side tuck on that side bit. So if you just glue down here and probably along the bottom as well, then you can just have like a little ticket or something poking out of there, so it's a separate little tuck. So that would be an interesting way to use that. And actually I just want to make one more cut, or can I get the same look? Will be that, I think I can. Okay, it'll be roughly the same, won't be exactly the same, but that's fine. And I'm playing. Like, I did not have this in mind to go this far, but why not? I'm playing. So again, grab this back, pop it down the bottom, and now we've got an even more interesting pocket. Like so. This bit I'm using is too wide for the pocket, but gives you the idea. So you can take an element on your scrapbook paper or card and create a pocket around that design if you don't want to damage it or cut into it because you like it as is. And then you can add other things like perhaps a label or a butterfly or a cog or something, or a clock face. You could add anything to match the design that's already on there. So just going with what's on your paper already and planning a pocket around that. Okay, now have I got enough in this to do the next one? I think I can. Yep, I should be able to. Now this is a style of pocket that's very freeform. I make it every now and then just when I want something different. So you want a piece of card or paper. If it's not thick enough, then layer it up with covering it with some paper or collaging it or something to make it a good weight so that it will hold whatever you put in it. And you want to get something that's as wide as you would like your pocket. Normally I'd do this a bit wider than this, but I'm going to use this because it's already cut. And you want something that's shorter than your page, and you can go up to the top of your page if you wish, or you can go halfway. It's totally up to you, and it's very freeform. And I like to give it a curve just to make it interesting at the top, and quite narrow at the top. And I'm just cutting it, not measuring, not marking it out, not making it even or perfect. And basically you're making a reverse L. You can make an L if you want it on the other side of the page. I can't do that with this because it's white on the back and I don't want to lose the colour that's already there. And you've made an L corner pocket. or a reverse L, depending which side of the page you have it on. And again, decorate it up, and it's just an interesting way to pop a tuck or a pocket, and particularly suits a larger tag, because it kind of not this bigger tag, but you know, something that's, or a bigger journaling card, because it holds it on the side and at the bottom. So normally, as I said, I would come out a bit further, but I'm just working with the piece of paper as it was. So that's another pocket, and I like this style to do every now and then, just because it's quick and easy, like no measuring, no predetermined dimensions or shape even. It's just got a rough approximation of a shape, and you can curve it, you can make it straight, you can angle it, whichever way you would like to do it. Simple. You know, pockets don't have to be complicated. I have done a couple of complicated pockets, as you know now, including the one this morning. But some of the ideas, simple ideas, can be the best because they're quick and easy. I think that's about all I had thought of for today. I'll just have a quick sip of my coffee and think if there's anything else I wanted to share. Yes, there is. It's related to, I've buried my page. Where's it gone? Oh, what have I done with it? Oh, here it is. So related to this, but just a slight difference, I'll grab out another bit of my 6x6 paper. So I'm going to go for the Thrive and Shine page and just see what I might like. Actually, this one might work quite nicely. This has just got a wood grain pattern with some colourful tropical leaves. Okay, and I want to, about half of that, maybe a little bit more than half. And I'm not measuring whether it's half or not, I'm just, yeah, I might make it a bit over half. Okay, I think that moved on me, so I don't think I cut it straight. You can certainly use this with other paper. I just grabbed this because I knew I had it handy, and it is a little small for what I wanted, but it's adequate to show you the idea. And I actually like small things, so I would still use this because I think small is cute. And this is just a simple around the page corner pocket. Oops, if I can slide it over the page. So I'm utilizing the design on the bottom, and then I can further decorate it. It can be a tuck, so if I round the corners on the top, you probably can't see that. Hopefully the focus is still okay. So slide it on the page, so it wraps around the page, and you can leave it open, and this one could serve us really well left open as a tuck because it's not very wide, but it would also make a really cute pocket. And this is about the size, maybe slightly smaller as a playing card, but a playing card tag or something would definitely fit in there if it was a wee pocket glued down the side as well. So it's a slightly different variation from these triangle ones that I wrapped around the page. So again, you can play with the shape. It doesn't need to be rectangle or square. Actually, a circle would be really cool if you had a big enough circle. I don't have a big enough circle. The biggest one I've got is 1 3/4 inches, which is not very large at all for a pocket. Decoration on a pocket maybe. But you know, you could cut out a big circle. If you found a circle on a scrapbook page or something, a large one, you'd cut it out and you could do the same thing, fold it in half and have it wrap around the page like you would with a doily, but using it as a tuck or gluing it along the bottom edge and having it as a pocket. So there we go. I think that's all I can think of for today. So we've got our wraparound pockets, rectangle or triangle, and this idea of putting them on opposite sides of the signature page, which I think is super, super cute. I do really love that. You've got a simple corner pocket that's hand cut in a rough L or reverse L shape. We've got these same triangles as we did here, which you can then glue in a number of ways for pockets and tucks and place them in a number of different ways on your page. And then we've got this one, which is cut for the design that was on the page to make an interesting pocket. And I think when I do use this, I will glue down here and make this a little tag tuck or something, or ticket tuck. And then we've got this other one that we cut from the same paper that is utilizing the design on it, and just create just a plain triangle corner pocket, but really nice already without even adding anything, although I imagine I will add in something, distress it, etc. And I think that's all we did. This is just showing that one with the pocket and the tuck. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully there's some ideas for you there. Have a play. Don't be afraid. There's these ones as well. So this one with the double pocket. Just play. Grab some old paper that doesn't matter and fold it and see what you come up with. I'm sure I've seen a lot of ways on YouTube. I continue to play and come up with things that are slightly different, and I'm sure everybody else does as well. So just play. Just let your inner child free to grab some paper and some glue and a scissors or ruler or cutting board, whichever you prefer, and just see what you come up with. And I'd love to see what you come up with. You can find me in the closed Facebook group Visual Vibes. You do have to request to join, and there's some joining questions there, but I would love to welcome you into that group. It's very small right now, like less than 10 people, but I want to grow it. I want to grow the community. So you can share photos there of what you've done, show me how you've taken ideas and made something completely new. That'd be awesome. I find the journaling community is a very sharing community, and we love to show each other what we've done and how we did it. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I'm going to leave it there and take care of this video, and hopefully the focus is okay. Please forgive if it's not. I will continue to look at ways that we can deal with that, but I'm not sure what else we can do, to be honest. But have a great day, stay warm, stay dry, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.